welcome to the season premiere ranking videos. I painstakingly, no, not painstakingly, actually a lot of these episodes are good, but I sat through and we watched all 8 of the season premieres. Yes, and now I'm going to rank them. Gonna try making this video quick because I have school in the morning. It's already 1:40 in the morning. I should have been watching them all day. Anyways, here's the rule. Here's how I did this. I only watched the fights, mainly because I didn't want to put up with the painstaking analyses of, well, the bottom 2 episodes have painstaking analysis. Actually, no, the bottom 3. And I don't agree with all of these. I think that some of these are... I don't usually rewatch some of these because I don't enjoy the outcome and how it goes. But for this video, for the sake of not being biased or hated on for being biased, I'm not considered biased, not biased, because I guarantee people would mistake me not wanting, but feeling like a character should have won because of better feats and stuff, and deathbattle missing those feats. Just for the point of it, I'm looking at these characters without looking at if they're right or wrong, okay? So yeah, I'll be doing a similar format for the finales ranking. Anyways, with that, I think I'm gonna get this show on the road. And starting off with the unsurprising encounter of bottom, Nathan Drake versus Laura Croft. This fight has a lot wrong with it. For one, Nathan doesn't act like Nathan throughout it, but he acts like a complete fucking dumbass. Even when he has a good idea, it's usually because Laura also notices it. He has barely any luck throughout the fight, and they give him no respect. Plus, his death is basically a fucking fall. All that he doesn't get up from. Even though they literally talk about him taking worse falls and barely even being wounded by them. What? That death is just a piss off and just meant to make people upset. And then there's the fact that throughout the fight, Laura is just... They say that Laura, in the post-analysis, which I did watch painstakingly enough, they say that Laura's skill level was much higher when, throughout the fight, Nathan might as well have been kicking Laura's ass. As in every melee battle. The only time when Nathan wasn't kicking Laura's ass in the fight was in the second half. Also, the animation is fucking shit. I refuse to believe it was animated by Torian, because he's animated so much better. And I refuse to be believed that this fight was animated more than a day. The lip syncing might as well be non-existent, and the expressions, like, it doesn't sell it where one of the characters making it being mad or upset, because they barely animate the face. They make the lips move and call it a day. And I find it annoying, jarring, and very unpleasant. And my eyes felt like they were bleeding throughout the animation. Like, that's just a testament to how bad it is. And this is what I decided before I made the rules. I decided that I'd watch the analysis for this one, and I knew that the Black Panther vs. Batman analysis is worse. Spoiler, that's the next one. And I knew that it was worse. So I decided to make that rule after painstakingly watching these two's analysis that are completely fucking unfunny. So yeah, honestly, this episode's a 2 out of 10. Only reason why it's a 2 out of 10 is because there's 2 scenes throughout the episode that had genuinely got a smile out of me. Yeah, and both those came from the towards the end of Nathan's analysis. So yeah, Fuck, go right hell, Nathan versus Laura. You're worse than I remember you. And I already remembered you as being pretty fucking bad. Anyways, Batman vs. Black Panther. So, as an episode itself, I like the fight. But as a premiere, it's just fucking trash. Even it has better animation than Boba Fett vs. Samus. But Boba Fett vs. Samus, at least, East was a bit, Boba Fett vs. Samus ranks higher than this because of the fact that I'm being lenient with it since it was the first ever episode of Death Battle. So I don't, and it was all animated by an amateur animator. So I don't blame it for being, well, but this episode has no excuse for being boring. Like, as I rewatched this episode a few times, and it gets worse each time I rewatch it. The analysis is not that entertaining. I literally could not smile at any part of it, which should technically make, like, I know I've actually didn't actually watch it today, but I just remember that at no point during this, have I ever rewatched this episode and had a smile on my face during the analysis. Like, with this episode, at least I got 2 smiles out of it. And the fight, it's a fight. It holds up for Death Battle's standards at the time, and honestly, the potential for a melee battle between the two could have gone above and beyond, but yeah, I don't really have much to say. It's a boring episode to me, but from here it gets better. And we're moving on to, well, Boba Fett vs. Samus. This episode was the first ever episode of Death Battle, and I'm cutting it some slack. It's a 6-minute long episode, and honestly, it deserves some credit where credit's due. Ben Singer and freaking Chad did not have an easy time at the time doing Death Battle at the time, and I'm just gonna give it a point. But if I'm and give it credit for that, it would rank dead bottom if I wasn't being lenient towards it though. Because but it has a charm to it that lets me enjoy it. But even if I think that Boba Fett shows shit stomped Samus. But other than that, that's about the only problem I have with it, is that I don't agree with the outcome. Everything else is really good in it. I can't really say why it's so good. It's just, it has a charm to it. You'd have to watch it a few times to understand. But yeah, I enjoy the fight. I enjoyed Boba Fett vs. Samus to an extent. And honestly, I consider it a decent episode. It fulfills its role as the first ever episode of Death Battle. Next one, probably more controversial on that, ranked higher than Boba Fett vs. Samus, is Namor versus Aquaman. This episode's, it's an episode. It's a lot better than all 3 of the others combined. But throughout the fight, Aquaman, it just feels like you can tell that Aquaman's gonna stomp, even if you didn't watch the analysis. Because throughout the fight, Aquaman was being just the definition of a freaking. He brought big dick energy on a similar level to how Alucard did during his fight against Dio. Only difference is Aquaman actually won that one. And honestly, all of Aquaman's line reads are perfect. The voice actor for Aquaman did a perfect job on here. And Namor's voice actor was pretty good too. The voice syncing lined up, unlike this fucking matchup. No, this fucking atrocity. Sorry. And also, there's the fact that with Namor versus I enjoyed the final half. The second half is where it really shines, honestly. Honestly, them trying to constantly overpower each other and using their ability to control fish to it. It was nice, and the track was good. But I enjoyed it. And, yeah. Moving on to number 3. Number 4. Or is Miles vs. Static. This episode, I did not like when it first came out, but after rewatching it a few minutes ago, yes, a few minutes ago, I actually enjoyed it. I did. I enjoy the fight. I disagree with Stack winning, and I still feel like I think it's because they left out a lot of feats for Miles and only compared him to original Spider-Man. And even though even original Spider-Man would have no fucking problem with static, not to sound offensive or anything. I'm trying my best not to sound offensive here, because, well, the nature of this matchup might if I say the wrong thing, might I make people think I have some racist undertones. I'm trying to avoid that. That and no, and honestly, I don't want to sound racist. I don't want people to think I'm racist just because I don't like this match. This match, like, it's better than Deku versus Miles. I'll give it that. The matchup itself, I didn't really know anything about Stack, and at the time, I was only familiar with Miles because of Spider-Verse. But from what I knew, Miles should have won, and even the analysis would suggest that. But the problem with it is that they basically say that Stack can do all this stuff better than Miles' natural, normal opponent Electro can, without really displaying any proof of this. They don't display any feats or anything at the end, and it just enforces that Rooster Teeth had to have stepped in on this one to have Stack win. Like, I know that they've literally said that there's been several occasions where the Rooster Teeth will pay them, will refuse to pay them if they don't make a specific person win. And yeah, Rooster Teeth can fuck off with that. I feel like this was one of those matchups where they were forced to do it. Ooh, that. But other than that, the fight's good. Miles' voice should have been a bit deeper than it was. Like, not too deep to sound like. But the best line read from Miles is the "Hey," and it sounded just like the Ike in the movie. And also, Stag's voice, from what I know, is perfect. Like, it does a good job. Voice actor apparently sounds just like Static in the show. So yeah. Next one, Heman vs. Lionel. This episode I have loved for a while now. It's a good episode and one of my favorites from season 2. Ooh, and honestly, when it comes down to it, this episode's a lot of fun. And the fight starting out at the way it did, it moving on, progressively getting more ridiculous in scale, leading to He-Man literally throwing a fucking mountain at Lionel, just as for Lionel to blow it up using all his power possible. It's fucking incredible. Oh, not as good as the top two, but when it comes down to it, He-Man vs. Lionel has a charm to it that even Boba Fett vs. Samus doesn't have. It has unique talent in how it uses its character's abilities. Like, every episode uses that, but how they clash makes it the most interesting part of it, because they clash on even grounds, even when it seems like it should be a stomp. Like, He-Man should be easily overpowering Lionel, or where he shouldn't have to really be hit by Lionel's attacks because he can easily dodge them. So yeah, great episode. And the voice actors for Lionel and He-Man were fucking perfect and phenomenal. One of my favorite in the show. And as good as this episode is, it falls behind. The reason why it falls behind this in second place is because the death was a bit underwhelming in some ways. isn't kind of needlessly cruel for Heman. I mean, they even say that he tries to avoid killing and stuff. And yet, here he is, dishing out a kind of character death. Like, it's a bit weird and kind of throws me off. Other than that, it's a great episode. But second place is King Mickey vs. Yoda. Anybody who didn't expect this should be ashamed. Like, yes, I don't like the outcome, and I'm probably going to make a debunking video for this at some point in the future, which is talking about how it was wrong and wrong. But to summarize, because I want to finish up this soon, voice acting from Yoda is fucking phenomenal. Same with Mickey. The fight's amazing with how Yoda is constantly being the inspirational figure he is and how King Mickey is being a fucking ridiculous ass motherfucker. Like, they both bring the energy I would want from the characters, and I'm glad about that. But, and honestly, seeing Yoda throw his lightsaber away to focus on the Force is such a cool moment. And Yoda, using Yoda basically encouraged Mickey to go all out, and got Mickey to know how to beat him. And I found that really cool, how even if he meant death, that Yoda was still trying to encourage people and to stop, even if it's his killer. So, yeah. Yoda vs. King Mickey is a great and a solid fight. Right, and only falls behind Dante vs. Bayonetta, which obviously is number one. Because, well, the death is lame, and the serious moments I can't be take serious because of Mickey's voice, honestly. But everything else is perfect. Now to talk about the truly perfect episode among these batch. Dante vs. Bayonetta. This episode is one of the most controversial on Death Battle, but easily is one of the best. That's the best. Dante vs. Bayonetta has a fire in it that got loads of passion put into it. Every bit of the fight it had no jank. It was polished. It had nothing wrong with it. The animation revived my eyes from the absolute eye rape that was Laura versus Nathan, and resurrected my soul. Well, like all the other, this was the last fight I watched. Laura versus Nathan was it was the premiere of season 4. I was trying to watch them in order, but I forgot this one. So, third fight I watched, I had to sit through 4 different fights before I got to this one, and none of them did anything for my eyes to help them regenerate. Aiden, how I looked. But this fight is just a work of art. Dante and Bayonetta's voices are perfect. Trish and John's voices are perfect. They use a wide variety of weapons like you would expect. Heck, they use when Autobot Firefly just get owned by Dante's Juggernaut form. Only problem is I don't think Devil Trigger showed up in this, which seems odd because I would want to see Devil Trigger in it. It would have been cool. But other than that, this fight's great, and to this day holds up as one of my favorite death battles. And yeah, that's the episode. But I hope you guys enjoyed. And I'll be making a finale version of this soon. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you never miss an update on a video. Oh, and don't forget, I'll catch you on the flip side.